Swadee ka. Thank you for joining us on Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT, Radio Thailand FM 88, and also on NB2 World. It's a Tuesday, and the date is October 27th, and my name is Sandra Hanutsaha. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story for you, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha attended a meeting with members of the auto and electronics industries to discuss ways to boost exports in the year 2016. The meeting was dubbed Prime Minister Meets CEO's first series and was also attended by Industry Minister Achaka Sibunreung. Its agenda was to discuss ways to promote the country's auto, electronics, and electrical appliance industries as part of the government's efforts to stimulate the economy. A key issue was how to facilitate auto shipments from the overcrowded Lamchabang port. It currently exports an average of over 1 million motor vehicles per year. General Prayut also chaired another meeting of the National Rice Policy and Management Committee. The committee is tasked with the management and auction of the government's stockpiled rice. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defense General Prawit Wongsuwan has assigned related units and the military to step up cyber security while preparing to help people cope with the anticipated drought this winter. According to spokesperson of the Defense Ministry, Major General Kongchi Bantrawanit, an instruction was given by General Prawit to various agencies under the Ministry and the Royal Thai Armed Forces during a meeting of the Defense Council to intensify their operations to secure government data and to monitor against cyber attacks on state-run websites by ill-intended individuals or groups. Major General Kongchi further revealed that General Prawit assigned the attending officials to draw up plans for handling the upcoming drought season, which will begin this winter and is expected to be more severe than before. It is feared that water shortage will heavily impact general consumers and agriculturists in 2016, and advanced preparations are deemed necessary. Interior Minister Anupong Paujinda presided over the opening ceremony of the training project for honest and transparent local administration. The event was held to highlight the government's campaign to discourage Thais from cheating. The Interior Minister said local administrative organizations and government officials are a key mechanism for decentralization and strengthening the country, and that the government's priority is to tackle corruption. On International Anti-Corruption Day, December 9th, the government will organize a large event and invite local administrative organizations with outstanding and honest performance to give presentations on their contribution in order to set a good example for other organizations. Mr. Jarin Jakapak, the Director General of the Department of Local Administration, said that the training course was organized by the Interior Ministry, the National Institute of Development Administration, or NIDA, and foundations and organizations that encourage transparency in Thailand. The Finance Minister has revealed that more measures to promote investment in the industrial sector will be unveiled in half a month. Finance Minister Apisak Tantiwarawong said that the new measures, which will come out in 2 weeks, will grant several privileges to awarded businesses. Mr. Apisak said that under the new plan, businesses will get to enjoy incentives that include taxes, raw materials, machinery, office supplies, and vehicles, for instance. He stated that all details will be revealed after the new measures get an approval from the Cabinet, while adding that these incentives will be very attractive for entrepreneurs. The Ministry of Tourism and Sports and the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment will work together in developing guidelines for the management of tourist sites to create sustainable tourism development. Minister of Tourism and Sports, Gopkan Watanawarankun, said the Ministry of Tourism and Sports would ask the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment which areas could be developed as tourist sites before they manage them together. The minister said this cooperation would help tourist sites meet tourist demands the most and help promote sustainable development. As for the minister's plan to develop tourism at Putapbuk Mountain in Phetchabun Province, Ms. Gopkan said the ministry was trying to persuade tourists to stay there longer in the hopes of increasing the local people's income. The Airports of Thailand Public Company Limited, or AOT, held a seminar to educate its staff on the importance of innovation in the aviation industry as part of the government's policy of stimulating the Thai economy. The seminar was chaired by Transport Minister Akom Thempithya Phaisit and featured exhibitions and talks on the aviation industry and innovative practices. Mr. Akom said the AOT must continue to support innovation and develop its knowledge bank in addition to conducting continuous research. Emphasis must be placed on innovations that enhance customer service at its various airports in order to stay competitive with airports in the region. Thailand's 5 Rivers of Reform will meet on October 28th, which is tomorrow, involving government agencies and the opportunity for participants to pose questions to the Prime Minister. The 5 entities consist of the National Council for Peace and Order, the Cabinet, the Constitution Drafting Commission, the National Legislative Assembly, and the National Reform Steering Assembly. According to Deputy Prime Minister Wissanukhrangam, the Prime Minister wants the meeting to be an opportunity for the 5 Rivers of Reform to meet in the same room to discuss the direction of the country's reform. After the discussion, the Prime Minister will take part in answering questions on various issues. The meeting, which includes heads of government agencies, permanent secretaries, as well as former high-ranking officials, will be broadcast live to the public. Mr. Wissanuk noted that the meeting will not touch on the public referendum of the new constitution. The heads of the National Reform Steering Assembly, or NRSA, and the Constitution Drafting Commission, or CDC, have met to discuss the coordination of their reform efforts, proposing that a committee be established to synthesize the work of all 5 rivers of reform. CDC Chairman Captain Thinapan Nakata met with NRSA Chairman Mitai Ruchupan, agreeing that a committee should be established to make sure that the work of all the 5 rivers of reform are in sync and in accordance with the country's reform roadmap. They also agreed that all of the 5 entities consisting of the CDC, NRSA, National Legislative Assembly, National Council for Peace and Order, and the Cabinet should together conduct input gathering sessions across the country in order to consolidate resources and stay up to date on the suggestions by the public. Captain Thinapan also revealed that a meeting will be held in the future to receive the NRSA's input on the drafting of organic laws that will accompany the new constitution. The chairman of the Constitution Drafting Commission, or CDC, has denied rumors that the charter drafters have been discussing the possibility of a non-elected prime minister. CDC Chairman Mitai Ruchupan said that the charter drafters have not been discussing anything about the issues of a non-elected prime minister and the strategic committee in charge of national reform and reconciliation under the new constitution. Mr. Michai said news media should not be reporting such incorrect accounts to the public. However, he said that the CDC still has not decided if these issues will or will not ever be included in the draft charter. Mr. Michai added that during his recent meeting with the president of the National Reform Steering Assembly, or NRSA, he suggested that the NRSA pass any suggestions it may have to the charter drafters as soon as possible, as the clock is ticking and the CDC has to complete its first draft by next January. The Department of Industrial Promotion, or DIP, has embarked on a plan to elevate Thai SMEs in the international market. Director General of the Department of Industrial Promotion, Somchai Hanhiran, has announced that the DIP will spend part of its 14 billion baht budget on the establishment of a Business Service Center, or BSC, in order to provide consultation and other support to Thai SMEs.
For the BSC, this is a new project of the DIP, Department of Industrial Promotions, which will be launched this project on the earliest of the next year. BSC is short for the Business Center, a Service Center. We will establish about 14 branches, which is located on the provinces. 11 provinces, which we have the center of the industrial promotions. And the other 3 is located in the Bangkok. And in this BSCs, we will provide the first hands of the information of all activities that the governments will provide for to help the SMEs, not just for the activities that provided by the Department of Industrial Promotion, but as well as all the departments, including for the provincial agencies.
The concept of intelligent SMEs, or ISMEs, was introduced by Mr. Somchai. He further explained that in a bid to be successful on the global stage, Thai SMEs should follow the ISME's characteristic concept. The DIP will provide technology, training, and consultancy at the center to help SMEs increase their business performance and competitiveness. Mr. Somchai said the project is intended to help more than 2,762 SMEs. The move is in line with the government's policy. And that is the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. It's now time for a quick break, but first we'll have a look at the exchange rates and also the commodity prices.
To maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The 4th core value: seeking direct and indirect knowledge and education.
Even if we don't see them, they are amongst us. And they're hungry. Slay your power-sucking monsters. Take their power away. Think when you plug.
ASEAN Political and Security Community. Prevent being deceived. Prevent being forced. Prevent being injured. The problem of human trafficking in children, women, and labor has been increasingly severe. Thailand and the ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights are working together to get rid of these problems in order to be fully accepted by the international community. One vision, one identity, one community.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Heading to Laos, our team recently went to visit the Nam Ngam Dam, a mega hydropower plant. Besides being the major generator of electricity for its own country and its neighbors like Thailand, Laos also supports sustainable environmental development along with ecotourism in the area, resulting in the location being sensitively developed for tourism. And Kun Banut Sinsap has the story.
Just 90 kilometers from Vientiane, the capital city of Laos, you will reach the Nam Ngum Dam, a reservoir with a distinct beauty. The location has now become a major attraction, well known for its ecotourism and environmental preservation. Construction of the Nam Ngum Dam started in 1968 and was completed in 1971. The plant served as a power generator to Vientiane, nearby areas, and for neighboring countries like Thailand. The Nam Ngum Reservoir has an area of 370 square kilometers. The area is surrounded by a naturally rich green forest.
For Nam Ngum 1 Dam, we have executed procedures of sustainable development, and we have been awarded with the ISO 14001 for the quality of our environment management standards. We are proud of this achievement, and we have been working to develop our sustainable development ever since.
The greenery and streams of water into the reservoir is a beautiful and impressive sight to see. This has led to continued growth in tourism to the area. Nam Ngum Dam executives also saw the importance of developing the reservoir into a tourism spot, and some parts of the area then got developed to better accommodate the growing number of visitors.
In the past years, we have tried to develop the area to fully be a tourist destination. Now we have made it to be quite lively. If you see it, it's a better place to come and visit. We hope to make the reservoir to be a natural tourist place, and we keep on developing the area.
More and more sightseeing boats and restaurants are opening up in the area. At the Nam Ngum restaurant owned by Miss Tukta, she said that she has started her business here 3 years ago, and the tourist numbers to the area kept on increasing every year.
Customers have increased a lot. Laotians are traveling more, including foreigners too. There are more and more visitors to the Nam Ngum Reservoir.
Not just Laotians are visiting the area. Thais and foreigners also love to come here. Some travel agents have even included Nam Ngum in their tour packages as well.
There are a lot of nature-based places to see here. Lots of temples. The language is similar to Thai, easy to communicate, and traveling to Laos from Thailand is easy too.
If you are thinking of going anywhere, very natural and very beautiful forests, to feel the cool flow of water and taste the authentic and delicious local Laotian food, traveling to Nam Ngum is certainly worth the drive. For NBT World, I'm Banot Sinsap in Vientiane, Laos.
In our world news stories, a hospital in Pakistan's quake-hit city of Peshawar had received nearly 200 injured people by a late Monday, hours after a 7.8 magnitude earthquake. The earthquake occurred around 2 p.m. local time. By 10 p.m., the hospital had admitted 170 wounded, 3 of whom died after treatments failed. According to hospital official Subani, the hospital is the largest in the region and has experience dealing with emergencies. Locals fear the number of casualties could increase further, due partly to landslides caused by recent heavy rains in the quake-hit mountainous area. The earthquake has so far caused at least 200 deaths in Pakistan and over 1,000 injuries. Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif has ordered 2,000 tents to be distributed to affected areas. Military helicopters have also been deployed to transfer injured people for treatment. EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini called for concrete steps to be taken to resume the peace process between Israel and Palestine ahead of a meeting with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. Mogherini told reporters that new steps would reinforce the position of the Palestinian Authority while contributing to bringing security to the Israeli people. Announced 4 days earlier, the meeting comes as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has raised the possibility of revoking benefits and travel rights of some Palestinians living in East Jerusalem in response to a wave of Palestinian violence. Since October 1st, at least 56 Palestinians, 29 of whom Israel says were armed attackers, have been shot and killed by Israelis at the scene of attacks or during protests in the West Bank and Gaza. 10 Israelis have been killed in Palestinian stabbings or shootings. Thousands of people took part in an anti-Islam rally in Dresden organized by the Pegida movement. Gathering outside Dresden's historic opera house, the Semperope, supporters of Pegida, or Patriotic Europeans Against the Islamization of the West, waved the German national flag and called for the government to change its stance on migrants. Media reports estimated the crowd at around 5,000, still smaller than its demonstration a week earlier. Counter-demonstrators also gathered simultaneously in Dresden, and there was a large police presence. As many German municipalities struggled to house and support the wave of migrants, criticism of Merkel's policy has grown, her ratings have slipped, and there have been arson attacks on refugee centers. And a trio of cheetah cubs were born at a U.S. Smithsonian National Zoo conservation facility last week. The zoo released video on Friday of Sonura, the mother cheetah, nursing and grooming her cubs. The eyes and ears of the cubs have opened and all 3 appear healthy. The cubs were born at the Smithsonian Conservation Biology Institute, a research annex of the National Zoo, which maintains land acreage for the protection of endangered species. Zoo officials have not yet performed a physical examination of the cubs because they want to give Sonura more time to establish her maternal bonds with the cubs. The Smithsonian Conservation Biology Institute now has 21 cheetahs in its custody at various facilities in the United States. And that is a wrap for this edition of Newsline. If you have any comments or suggestions, then do feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can follow us on our Facebook page by simply typing in NNT, and do take the time to check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/en. We're going to say goodbye today with footage of a magnificent view on Doi Suthep in Chiang Mai province. Have a great day. I'm Sandra Hanu Saha. Sawasdee.